O.C.C is just doing work tonight.
Alrighty, so here we go. Sorry, folks, for the the technical issues. I'm not 100% sure what's going on, but during that break, honestly, it has just been a ridiculous role that O.C.C is just finding themselves in, and it just seems that Frost has really lost their footing. They're not really sure what angle they're going to be taking.
Yeah, I definitely noticed a lot of they're just really running in there. Frost not really having much of a plan. It looked like they had something, but they're just not able to execute it as well because O.C.C is just able to counter it, and then they don't have a plan B. And so O.C.C did a really strong push here, keeping that momentum really strong, and Frost just needs to find it.
Yeah, for those of you who didn't see, I do apologize once again. The internet, for some reason, is going to be an absolute potato for God knows what reason, which is rough because I was really hoping to do some comp tonight, but I guess it is not going to happen. So, for those of you who didn't see, O.C.C just running through this Frost defense, making it with 2 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the clock, and it's going to be absolutely huge here. I mean, oh man, Frost is definitely going to have some form of angle in order to really make this work.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed Jag was a lot better on his Rhine. He's playing the Winston a lot more this match, and honestly, I feel like this could be Frost testing the waters for that playoffs game next week. So they might just be trying this against. It might just be trying this against.
O.C.C?
Sorry, O.C.C. Couldn't word for a sec. O.C.C and just seeing what works and what doesn't work because they've had those plays that do work and then just really hit it hard in those playoff games where it's going to matter the most. So I feel this is like Frost is testing what is O.C.C going to pull, and if O.C.C knows what Frost is going to work with, what works against Frost, Frost can kind of expect the same style come playoff game. So that could be what they're doing.
Right.
But
yeah, that
I can't speak for them.
I definitely would agree there. I mean, they could have that in their mind. You know, they do have some different things that they can try, and it's gonna be interesting what they do come playoff time. But right now, I mean, O.C.C's really bearing their fangs, man. They're really keeping themselves pushing forward. And here it is. We're seeing Dawnbreaker trying to get into that back line, or at least try to make some kind of hell for the side of O.C.C. But they are going to be using the indoors to try to keep the enemies at bay. Steve Kong's got to be careful, though, not to get pushed out of position here. And he is going into that backline looking for a rush. And that's going to be a DMAC here on Zentoxin. Does get destroyed by Epic Sinner. And now it's the 1v1 V-Drips. Dawnbreaker, though, has got to be careful. Oh, does get taken out. And that's going to be the end of that offensive push here for Frost.
And we're going to see Jag switch over the Rhine, which is huge here. You always got to run that Rhine into the Rhine, especially with Rhine players like Jag and O.C.C when you're playing with or against them. If there's a Rhine on one side, 90% of the time you have to run that Rhine on the second time. And he is going to get the Goats comp Frost doing that Goats on the attack. And you'll have Epic on the Brig to be able to back up Jag, so we could see a change in the Rhine plays here. So let's just see how they do.
And yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. There goes that hammer down. Jag just did not read that right. There comes the picks, and here they go for a relatively sweet, delicious, satisfying cleanup with a side of fries. That's gonna be what ends it for him there. Wow, that's rough.
Yeah, definitely. I was getting worried for O.C.C there. He's getting pushed away from his team out of position, but then he had that shatter on play, and Jag just didn't read it right. He thought, oh, he's going to get picked off by the rest of the team. They got him away, and he didn't have it in mind that O.C.C had that shatter, and they set him up in the perfect position too. Jag needs to stay on the Rhine until stay on O.C.C until he is down.
Ooh, and that's a big pin there, but great job by McBean allowing the rest of the team to stay alive. Nassif managed to just really keep it going. Oh, and that's going to be Jag the Nerd getting completely bullied. Ooh, good finish there by McBean. Yeah, I just realized, I just looked at the Frost roster. I just realized they're missing one of their main players. They are missing Ikkyo, who's normally part of their main lineup.
Yeah, that could be one of the other reasons why. Especially when you play with without normally your starters. and it can change a little bit of the style. I'm not used to the Platinum's main roster, so I wouldn't be able to point that out. But that can also be another factor of why tonight's going how it is.
Ooh, bomb v bomb work. And that's going to be Zenthoxin picking up the delicious 3K, ending up with the killing blow here on Dawnbreaker. And what am I seeing today? Now, I will say, it is going to be extremely important because Sozin, I believe, normally plays for Void. So I think Sozin normally plays in the Gold Division. I think this is his first taste of Platinum. So it's going to be, it's a bit of a jarring jump, you know what I mean? There's a lot of different caveats once you've kind of made that jump from Gold to Plat.
Yeah, and they are, OwOSA's doing what you were talking about earlier, giving a little and then just taking a lot back. The pick on Epic Center is going to be huge here because you don't have that brick, giving that extra armor and healing. And just they're making clean work. OwOSA's playing really well. I don't have much to really say. It's just really, it feels more one-sided than it should.
And there it is, the clean work. That's going to be rough here. Epic Center does get taken out at the end of that one. And it looks like we are going to have Kroski on the point. Going to go for some miracles here. Going to try to make something happen. Kappa but missed, giving him the flail to the forehead. And there comes Jag the Nerd, knowing he has to run on in, make it or break it. But McBean does have the Discord orb on him. There we go. That's the end of that. And Dawnbreaker in a terrible spot does get taken out. And McBean is just doing some just disgusting plays right now. Unreal work. Zenthoxin, though, with another two-piece. This is fantastic. That's going to be OwOSA taking the match tonight.
Just a lot of work. They've been doing really well. You can definitely tell they've probably been putting in those hours this week, and just I am at no words to how well OwOSA is playing compared to the number one in the Platinums. Like, they're basically, this is the dethroning, even though yes, Frost will still have those more points near perfect season, but that's gotta feel bad for Frost though.
I mean, at the end of the day, though, like I said, you still also have to take into account not having one of your main rosters. And predominantly, I know that Ikkyo usually plays on the Zarya. When you do change up the dynamic, it becomes kind of difficult because you're used to, you know, like let's say, you know, you and I are playing, you know, Zarya Ryan. I'm on the Ryan, you're on the Zarya. If you and I have been playing together consistently over and over and over again, you understand my tendencies. So you know when I'm looking to do this or when I'm looking to do that, when I'm looking to shatter, when I'm looking to... So, you know, Dawnbreaker normally doesn't play... to my understanding, Dawnbreaker normally doesn't play the Zarya. That's usually Ikkyo's role. So when you do have someone shifted off on the other... you have another player shifted off to play the Zarya, it's not to say they're bad in any way, shape, or form. The idea is it's just you have someone that is comfortable with you, that knows, you know, that has a really solid connection with you. And once they kind of get a pickup on how you move and how you adjust to plays, it becomes a really, really difficult game when you don't have that person, because it's such a synergistic style of play that when it's gone, you're just like, oh shoot, what do I do now? You know, so I feel like maybe that might be part of their issues right now.
Yeah, and like you said, yeah, Ikkyo being that main Zarya, the Zarya is one of those key figures in a Ghost comp, being able, and if playing with the Rhine, and if Jag doesn't have his normal backup Zarya, and just Rithiko not being... they've had a few people play Zarya tonight, but mainly Dawnbreaker. Mm-hmm. Just not having that synergy, and that has led to their downfall, yeah. So that could be...
Yeah, that could very well be one of the things that they're dealing with. But that's the thing, though. Here's something that we also have to understand. And you know, whenever Hip Hip is ready, we can get started on this final map. You know, this is really only the precursor to the final fight of the season. Right now, really, we're only seeing the burying of the teeth, and OwOSA kind of putting their mark on Frost, letting him know that come the playoff, they are serious and they want that victory. They want that W. Yeah. So, this also, however, and we were discussing this, it gives Frost the time to really look at the enemy strats. So come playoff time, they now have an idea on how to counter things. They aren't going to go in there blind. They do know, okay, this is what we look out for. This is what we'll play.
Yeah, and that can be the key thing. Definitely a lot of this coming weeks, there needs to be a lot of VOD review. Of not just this match, but prior OwOSA match for OwOSA on a lot of Frost matches, and just seeing what works and what doesn't work. That's going to be the really big determining factor to come playoff games. So what we're going to see here, we're going to see the GOATs come out on the defense for Frost, and then we are going to see the 2-2-2 Ryan Zarya come out from Oasis, but he's not going to stay. Bastion.
I wouldn't think he would. No. But
no,
Bean is
like doing that to us.
Bean is representing the right colors, though, and I appreciate that. I'm a New York fan. It's what I do. So here's E-Boy sending some love here to OwOSA, and they're looking to try to land a solid pick. McBean's orbs are just doing some ridiculous work, getting a lot of value from it. And Jags and they're trying to get a forward position. Mars is going to be in that front line to dish out a little bit of that damage, sending back the fire, or trying to send back the fire strike. But Epic Center off onto the flank is going to get punished a little bit. Rithical does get taken out. That's going to be, it's going to be Naseef Khan is going to get taken out. Oh my God, Mars, what are you doing, man? Oh, this is just terrible. Mars just helping to clean up with Dripsons and Thoxin at the back. Wow, that is just great work there. They finished the GOATs composition.
That's a rare thing to see on, especially Kings Row, the defense. You got to play so close to that point. There is those angles, but you still have to get on that point. And they just played it really well. They didn't even have to use much high ground either. They just were able to get those picks, separate them off, and they definitely, Frost is going to have to keep together and try to play these corners correct and just not let those picks happen that OwOSA's keep getting.
Yeah. Man, this is just a different side of the coin here compared to their last time when they faced off. So here it is. Naseef Khan's going to be up into that front line. He does have a really, really well-charged Xanthoxin up with him. And here they go. The Ryan v. Ryan battle starts off one more time. Oh, that's going to be a big one right there. This is going to be up to that anti-nade, which unfortunately Dank Monkey doesn't have at this very moment. Oh, the hammer down does come on in. A massive sleep, and that's going to be what helps it. Oh, my God. They're just trying to rush on in. Fantastic work here. Oh, but that might be dangerous. Great job there by McBean, who did happen to stop that just in time. So they are going to have to back off, and Krosky is looking to try to retreat. They do manage to get out of dodge, but not before OwOSA just has a lot of forward potential.
Yeah, and definitely that is one thing. Ana's nades, if they're on point, they destroy a Ghost Comp, because one thing that GOATs rely on is a lot of health and a lot of healing. And if you take that anti-nade and you take away one of those two factors, and Dank's been doing a really good job at this, it can be really detrimental to the GOATs comp and just tear it down, which they are doing.
Oh, and this is just going to be rough. Krosky just going to get absolutely deleted. I think he popped that ult at just a really bad point.
Yeah, they definitely playing very spread out. More, you got Dawnbreaker still in the back. They're trying to still push GOATs. They need to regroup for 6, and then Jack getting picked off early by Drips. It's not looking well for Frost here.
No, they just have a lot going for them. Mars does get taken out though by gets taken out by Dawnbreaker, so they are gonna have to give them a little bit of space. They can't just jump on in there because McBean is just absolutely deadly with these orbs. So it's gonna be OwOSA backing up just a little bit. Meanwhile, it's going to be Frost getting ready for yet another push. Naseef Khan's got to be careful, but here they go, and they're going to go off that initial Brigitte ultimate to try and get this battle going. The hammer down does come on down. Oh, and here it goes. Mara's looking to try to get some solid nasty work in. That's Mars picking up the 2 with the Nano Blade. However, is that going to be enough? And I believe the answer is yes. Naseef Khan taking out Rhythical and Dawnbreaker having to back off, and that's just not a lot of healing that Kroski can do with that orb.
Really good work. I don't have much to analyze, honestly. I feel they're just really doing well, and just Frost isn't staying together like they should, except for in those instances when the Dragon Grab comes out. You don't want to be together, but it's just they're not playing goats together like they should. They're getting really spread out, and I think these past few games are getting to Frost.
And that's just going to be a tough one, man. So here we go into this final bit. Frost can still make it. Well, I mean, that being said, though, this loss doesn't hold nearly as much weight as what's going to be next week, which will hold, obviously, the most. But it's still a solid precursor that right now, and the way OwOSA is, they are extremely deadly. And Frost, time and time again, have usually been coming out on top, but I'm not really sure what's going on tonight.
Yeah, and definitely when Ikkyo comes back, if he should be back next on the playoff season, that's going to be the big determining factor within their synergy with their Zarya player, which is one of the key factors, part of their Ghost comp. When you don't have that synergy, it's not working out. But we are going to see Jag play Zarya this time instead of switching off that main thing, rolling Dawnbreaker, the Reinhardt this time, while they're running this 2-2-2 on the defense. And then we're going to see Goats come out on the attack, switch that. Frost is on the attack, and OwOSA will be defending with Goats.
Yep, so right now, I mean, we have seen the Kings of the Throne. They are suffering their second loss of the regular season. And OwOSA's done it really, really well, and I do have to give them that. But Frost is still not out of this fight. It is not over yet, and Dawnbreaker and Jag the Nerd are going to swap off, so Dawnbreaker is going to be playing the main tank role. So here they go. Initial battle is going to go off, and Zentoxin didn't happen to eat that one in time. So here they go, and they're trying to use Epic Center to try to get off into that flank, but here they go, and Dawnbreaker's just going to have a lot of pressure in his direction. Epic Center might have bitten off a little bit more than he could chew, because Drips is looking to try to melt his life points at this point. So Naseef Khan does get a little bit of backup, and that's going to be Sozin getting a pick here. Oh, man, but it looks like, as I said, it doesn't seem that Frost is ready to give this one just yet. Having Sozin playing that, just giving a lot of extra damage and then pushing their way forward, they actually got that with flying colors.
Yeah, it's definitely the DPS picks there. Epic Center and Sozin being one of those notable DPS in the gold division, and then Epic Center doing really good work on the Genji, really good DPS picks here, breaking up now. You are going to see Naseef coming out on his Hammond to add more of ability to it, so you're going to have those guys trying to get around Epic Center and Sozin to not keep themselves trapped. But they are going to be running now without a Rhine, without a shield, which could be devastating in some of these ults that Frost will have.
Oh, and here it comes. That's Epic Center looking for some picks, but does get taken out by Mars. And that's going to be rightly in time. Does pop that ultimate and knows that there is nothing to worry about in terms of the Reinhardt. Does take out Jag the Nerd. And that's going to be another pick here. Rhythical gonna have to be careful, managing to get out just in time as Naseef Khan is still on the hunt, looking to try to finish it off, unable to do so. And it looks like it's going to be Frost backing off to try it again.
I noticed the OwOSA's been given that little bit of space. They're still doing that here, giving that little bit of space, and then just able to trample on Frost and not giving them too much leeway either at that. So it's really just going to come down. The risky play here is Naseef on the Hammond, how is his main character, but you're going to be running in without a shield now. But they are making it work with his high mobility.
Ooh, unfortunate for Sozin. Drops it into some mines. Oh, and Kroski getting caught out. No real backup there. Oh, getting smacked in the forehead by a hamster gun. That's going to be what ends it there. And Frost just unable to get out past this little overpass.
Yes, and we do have the ult economy looking more well in OwOSA saying their ult economy is really well. Nassif just dropped his bombs already at 60% to his next one. You got Zentoxin, who's been doing some really good bomb placements tonight, and then this McBean and Mars having their defensive support ults, which would be really good here. So OwOSA's still doing really strong. A rally comes out.
Oh, and there's that ultimate, but there it is, McBean knowing exactly what he's waiting for before anything happens. Here it goes. Epic Center does get an orb to the forehead. That's going to be what ends it there. So it's going to be Jack the Nerd getting thrown completely out of position, and it looks like the time bank is really starting to fall here for the side of Frost.
Yeah, they're not Frost or OwOSA keeping that momentum, and this Frost hasn't been able to they've had those points of momentum, but they just can't keep it, because then they start to get comfortable. They say, all right, we got this, and OwOSA just burying their fangs tonight, and really well placement in that high mobility, just not much. They don't know what to do.
Oh, and there comes a hammer down from Dawnbreaker. He knows that's really what he could do in order to really make some changes. That's Epic Center managing to land a pick. Does get taken out, though, as Sozin does get absolutely melted. So here comes Nassif Khan popping out the ultimate, but I think he might have zoned out a little bit too far back. Regardless, that might not be anything they could do. Mars does pop that ultimate. Oh, and they've got to be careful. Dawnbreaker backs up into some mines. Man, I was not... I was wondering why Nassif had put it so far back, because he was looking for the retreaters. And that's just, it's hard to deal with. You put it back there, people are like, all right, we got to bug out. Nope. Right in the bombs is what you're bugging into.
Yeah, and definitely, I know I've had those moments when I'm playing. I'm like, all right, the safe in front of me. I didn't hear the Hammond, or I didn't pay too much attention. Like, all right, they're probably going to pay a point. I need to back out a point, and then turn around and realize, oh crap, the bombs are behind me. I'm between explosives and an angry German man coming at me. There's not much you can really do there.
So here they go. Oh, and there comes a Zentoxin bomb. Is it going to be a big one? And that's going to be a two-piece. That's going to be a big one, ladies and gentlemen. And this is going to be unfortunate for Dawnbreaker. Does get taken out by Mars. And it looks like Frost is still just having a tough time getting through this. This ult management from the side of OwOSA is just fantastic.
And that is also that has been a big thing to OwOSA, just knowing when to use out, not using a lot of ults, and making Frost waste their ults. Like, as you see, they have Jags coming up on his ult here, while you have 3 coming out from OwOSA plus grabs right there, and rally as well. OwOSA's ult management has been another key factor in this fight that we haven't really talked about.
Oh, and there comes Sozin popping that ultimate, but McBean looking to click some foreheads. There it goes. Is that ultimate going to be what they need? And no, it doesn't seem like it managed to land with just about anyone. McBean does drop that ultimate, though. And it looks like they're finally starting to they're starting to pick up some ground here. But Nassif Khan giving them a little bit and taking back quite a bit. Does get completely demolished by Krosky, and Frost is still not out of this fight yet.
No, they're definitely going to have to give a little space. Probably regroup now, potentially to have one more contest at this point. OwOSA could do, or give it. But then again, they only get a minute 30 if Frost gets it to here. So then you could be pushing the overtime. And if they can't get it to there in the end before the minute 30 and switch to overtime, it's going to be definitely fighting for a draw here if we get that far.
Rithical bringing back Sozin. That's going to be huge because they do have one of their main damage dealers coming on out. Oh, but that's going to be bad. There it goes. The 1-2 combo comes on in, and here comes the bomb. Either you get on or you get out, and it looks like they got out, and that's going to be a clean 4-0 sweep here by OwOSA.
Huge plays. Both sides had some pretty good play, but Zentoxin's bombs being very notable tonight. Those last-minute plays, and just Krosky here doing work on Zen. Really good trans here. Could have been the savior, just wasn't enough.
I mean, did manage to go for a solid shutdown. So that was great work there, man.
Yeah, that props there. Could have been more devastating, but in the long run, it just wasn't enough. But still, well done. And both teams played really well. And we have those playoffs coming up, which will be the big The big one. I'm looking for the right word. I'm trying not to repeat phrases, and it's just like,
You're fine. You're fine. The English language is hard.
It is.
Half of our country still can't speak it right. So
True.
here we go. We are at the end of the map. Or the end of the night. We have a 4-0 sweep by OwOSA. Fantastic job here. And I am absolutely at the edge of my seat, just completely blown away by this. So, Zeus boy, hey, chill. So, now we've got our player of the match. For those of you who who do want to go ahead and put someone up, please give us a hashtag for who you think it is. So, Amano, who's yours?
Yes. I have to give it to Nassif here. He was doing really well in the main tank tonight, and it's just his movements in his play and his last save on Anubis is still very notable. That really changed that battle, and it's just he's been doing a lot of work, being able to contest Jag on the Rhine, being that really good Hammond player, the distraction that we all know and love here in the Platinum Division, and just playing a really solid Winston as well. He was able to play all three main tanks effectively. And he was just doing a lot of work. That's why he gets my player of the match tonight.
I think I want to give it tonight. I want to give it to Dank Monkey tonight. And honestly, it was just for a lot of the communication. He was everywhere, dude. He was absolutely everywhere. Whether he was playing that Ana, really getting really some good value, getting some of those anti-nades in that final bit against in King's Row, playing as Zenyatta, doing some solid plays, and primarily I do want to. I mean, it was a high risk play on Anubis, but it was just extremely important. And honestly, I was really, really happy. I mean, Mick Bean was just killing it tonight with him. And they were both doing some great and solid work. You can't forget about Mist, who was really, really winning it in those oof counters. But Dank Monkey, you're going to get it tonight, man. I noticed you just everywhere. And you need that. You need that in a Lucio, and you need that in a healer anyway. Some of the better healers really just know how to just show up. I'm dying. Here I am. How? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I just am.
Yeah, most definitely.
So that's kind of how that turns out. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end. Next week is playoffs week. So that is what these people have been fighting for these last few months. They are looking to become the champions of their proper divisions. So expect to be seeing. On Monday, we're going to be seeing Smile v. Komodo. On Wednesday, we're going to be seeing GOT versus the Assassins. Now, that one I'm super, super pumped for, because the Assassins' latest lineup, now, I know you're going against somebody. I know you're going against them.
I'm very nervous about that one.
Because I remember the last time you guys went out and you guys had like a straight-up brawl. You guys went 3-2.
Yeah, they won the first two maps, and that's when we're like, oh, we need to get something right. And then they had that one, the time they did win against us when we didn't have me and Kagura, one of our two starters. But they have still been playing those pretty close games, and that's why I'm really nervous, because one time they're going to underhand us. And
that might ruin an almost perfect season, man.
I know, and I'm really nervous for that game. Please root for me. For me.
It's Drips. It was no. The Shimada plays was good though. The Shimada brothers play was good. Yeah. And then we're gonna be seeing the O.C.C. Classic Titans v Void on Thursday, and then Saturday we're gonna be seeing the rematch OwOSA versus Frost. And then the big question still remains: can Frost adjust their play, look at the tape, and really, really make things work for their playoff game? They've been playing impeccably throughout most of the regular season, and this is the match that counts. Next week is all about the matches that count. So, ladies and gentlemen, please let your friends know. If you are part of the scrims, let people know. Honestly, it is absolutely fantastic to have people cheering you on for a very, very important match. And we are having a meetup as well coming in at the end of this month, so you are part of the meetup. I can't wait to meet you. It'll be an absolute fantastic time. And yeah, that's what it's going to be. So please tell your mom, dad, sister, grandma, anybody you know, really. Particularly for these playoffs, a lot of people have been really, really working. Predominantly the teams that are now in the playoffs. really, really working their butts off to get to where they are. Yeah, and the hope is that season 2 will have more. So obviously you guys have more teams to root for, so on and so forth. But that is then, and here we are now. I have been the Loud T-Rex.
And I've been Amano.
Please join us Monday. Actually, join Litzy on Monday for the Diamond Playoff. Let's see if Smile can win it against Komodo. We'll find out. We'll see you guys next time.